All right, good morning, guys. This is not a video about skincare, but I am just gonna splash my face and do my little morning thing because I'm not sure what I'm doing today. I might be heading out with my daughter. I'm not really sure. So I wanted to get this video in because it's fresh on my mind. Well, it was fresh on my mind yesterday. I wanted to do the video yesterday, but I ended up not getting to it. So I want to do it while I'm thinking about it. So I have said a million times that you cannot trust anybody in the quote alternative world, the world of people that appear to be digging for truth, people that are presenting counter narratives to the mainstream narratives that, again, it's a bait and switch. It's trying to get you down another dark path. And a lot of people, simply because they don't have either the education, the information, or they just don't have a brain that can kind of look beyond. And I'm gonna try to not be I don't want to put it out there as like oh my god, if you don't see this, I understand that not everybody has the same capacity with their mind to be able to look through nonsense, and some people are better at it than others. Nobody's good at it 100%, believe me. Nobody's good at it 100%, but to be able to pluck out huge red flags and then to be able to kind of dig a little deeper and find more information, and then you start to realize that these people are full of shit, okay? So there is somebody in the health space, I would say alternative health space for the most part, and they talk about nutrition and they talk about all sorts of stuff. They put out some really good videos regarding the what and things like that, and actually seems like a really nice guy. And lately, the video that he put out was how the mRNA spike protein is causing people to become mind controlled, which honestly I find hysterical because anybody who got it already is mind controlled. But again, I wouldn't put anything past the people, that are making that shit. What kind of technology, what kind of things, using the CRISPR technology and all that stuff. What are they really, doing to people? What kind of technology is really in there? Because nobody's aware of any of that stuff. Not one person that got that shot understands what CRISPR technology is and understands what that Frankenstein shit actually is. Not one of them. Not one of them, okay? Because they didn't do a lick of research, all right? They didn't do a lick, not even a tiny little bit, all right? They just believed the narrative from fucking criminals, mobsters, liars, all right? So, this guy is making the claim with another doctor. There's another doctor who's actually putting this out, and I think he's from Germany, that it's causing people to be mind controlled. And my thing is, how would they know? How would they know it's causing people to be mind controlled? How do you know that that is actually mind control from the shot, or that it was mind control simply because they were already mind controlled by the system? People are in a pretty sad state, okay? Most people couldn't think their way out of a paper bag, all right? But get this. The solution is low doses of lithium. Lithium. Any of you have a background in pharmacology, mental illness, psychiatry, psychology? Lithium. Anybody done some research on lithium? Okay, so the antidote is lithium, all right? And of course, they're promoting it in very low doses, thinking somehow that's going to negate what lithium does to people, all right? It doesn't, okay? Even low doses fundamentally change who you are, okay? Those drugs, lithium, directly affects your emotional centers, your center for compassion, empathy, all of those things. It basically is a drug that makes you less human, okay? That's basically what these drugs do. And of course, they have other effects as well. And then they do have some very negative effects, some very, very, very dark, dangerous, negative physiological effects, because we know that the making you less human is probably one of the worst, side effects. But there's a lot of really negative downstream effects that happen to your physiological system, okay, and your biology. This is serious shit, okay? It's serious shit. So now what? There's going to be doctors that are going to prescribe this to people? Like, for one thing, good luck trying to find somebody who's going to do this. There's only going to be a small handful of people that will do this, that even believe in any of that stuff, okay? And then even if there are more doctors that believe it, I don't know. I think this is a big thing to get people to swallow, to be perfectly honest. But nothing shocks me. Nothing shocks me at all. And I would not be surprised if this actually goes, I don't know, deeper and further. I don't really know. Like, I have no idea where this is going to go because it's batshit crazy, all right? This alternative thinking, supposedly, person is also, promoting, I don't remember if it was ivermectin, Fen-Phen, or I don't know, something like that, or no, not Fen-Phen. I think it was like ivermectin for something, or he's promoting some things that I absolutely do not align with whatsoever, and have done videos on why, and promotes a lot of high dosing and mega dosing of things and stuff like that, which again is not in alignment with our biology or our physiology. Okay, none of these extreme things are in alignment and in harmony with our bodies. All right, so I'm not for any of those things. And again, I'm not saying there's never a time and a place for something. Okay, I'm not that rigid. But for most things, fuck no. No, fuck no. It's way too many things to consider, okay? However, the whole lithium thing got me, right? So of course, after I saw that video, I didn't even watch it because it, like, I just typed it into AI, got a little bit of information and was like, yep, of course it is. Of course this is what they're promoting, because it's all part of the controlled opposition narrative, okay? And then, wouldn't you know, later on yesterday, I was on just checking, because I posted a video yesterday, so I was just checking on it. And doesn't another video pop up on my feed about a woman who's promoting low-dose lithium for something else? Like, oh, to stabilize your mood, like all this shit, right? Like, they're trying to medicate away our humanity, okay? They're trying to medicate away every fucking problem that we have through all of this bullshit big pharma crap. And considering that a lot of the drugs that they have out there are slowly being, they're not being all replaced yet, but they're slowly being funneled into this CRISPR technology, which is genetic editing. It's manipulation, completely manipulating your biology. They're coming out with a shot now that will permanently lower people's cholesterol, which will be a fucking disaster. This is going to be a fucking disaster for people, okay? This is serious. And they already know that all of the stuff that people have been told about the mRNA, lies, and more lies. But, those of us were trying to tell you. There's those of us that were trying to tell people and warn people. But, no. They didn't listen to us. But, you know, people are going to suffer the consequence. People are going to pay the price, you know, for their ignorance. And it's really sad. It's really, really sad. It's like, it just breaks my heart. Some people, it doesn't break my heart because some people are stubbornly ignorant. They're just ignorant to the point where they deserve it. I'm sorry, they just deserve it. They don't want to be informed. They don't even want education. They don't want to do research. They don't even want to look. But then you have the group of people who are ignorant, but it's because they had no idea. They're like, well, if I had known that, I would have never done this, or, you know, what have you. And those are the people that I feel really bad for. So, Big Pharma's not your fucking friend, people. Not in any situation. Now, if it can save your life in a life-threatening, drastic situation, then use it for that moment. Use it for that moment in time when there just simply is no other option, okay? But as soon as possible, you want to get the fuck off their shit, okay? Because again, it is affecting your physiology, your biology. A lot of drugs affect your mind. It's affecting you in ways that most people are not even remotely aware of, okay? HRT, all the bullshit that's being, you know, pushed out there right now. And, you know, we live in clown world run by evil people, okay? Not saying everybody in the system is evil. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying, but we're talking about the puppet masters, okay? They know what they're doing. They are deliberate with what they're doing, okay? And everything that we think is great are just the crumbs that they throw us, because this is how they keep it, you know, this is how they keep people moving along. They give you just enough to keep you moving along their direction that they want you to go, okay? That's how it works. That's how the entire system is set up. The system is not based on honesty, transparency, information, education, okay? It's based on telling you only one piece of the information that appears to be a benefit to you, but it doesn't tell you the dark side, and it doesn't give you the other side of the story. And I have a huge, huge problem with that, okay? These are people we should not trust at all. And there's so many controlled opposition people out there that it is absolutely crazy. So a lot of controlled opposition people in the nutrition space, okay? Lots of controlled opposition people in the alternative healing space. Lots of controlled opposition in the biohacking space, okay? The whole biohacking space is controlled opposition anyway. But in the alternative healing space, there are some people that are putting out some relatively decent information, but unfortunately, it's very easy to get swept up into the garbage. It's just, we live in crazy times, people. You have to really be in touch with your intuitive inner light, your instincts, your survival instincts. You need to really get in touch with them, because there's a lot of people that want to see you sink, but they put themselves out there as somebody that we like, we admire, we listen to them, we like them, but they're fooling you. They're actors, actresses, or they just aren't smart enough to see the agenda. And those people are just as dangerous. There's some people that are truly well-intentioned, but just not smart enough. And they're fucking dangerous. They're as dangerous as the people who are controlled opposition. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there today, because it's like, it was like making me crazy. And I went to bed last night and I was like, nothing shocks me. Like, nothing shocks me. But I was like, are you kidding me? Lithium. So you notice in the alternative space right now, all of this shit coming out about this, parasites, mind control, whatever, they're all leading people back to big pharma, aren't they? All leading people back to big pharma. Carnivore community, keto community, all these people leading people back to start adding in all sorts of carbohydrates to their diet to get them out of beta oxidation, out of ketone metabolism. Very interesting. And if you've watched my videos, talking about glucose metabolism and beta oxidation and ketone metabolism, you'll understand why they're trying to do that. I get into the physiology with you guys because, again, I don't care what people eat. Eat whatever you want. You do you. I just think for those who want to be informed so that you can make the best decision, I like to show people this, go through the process, what it does for the body, and which one do you want to do? Which one do you want? It's simple once you understand each system. And when one system only has one benefit, which is quick energy, the other one has a million benefits, like why would you choose this one? You can do whatever you want because you're addicted to this shit. But if you want real health, real cellular health, if you want your metabolic process to actually be fueling your body in the deepest way possible and nourishing your body in a way that isn't even remotely possible with this, I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. And of course, this is animal-based as well. Animal-based beta oxidation, ketone metabolism. I'm not talking about crappy keto, all that shit. Even though you might get a little bit of benefits of keto from a crappy keto diet. Like, I'm not going to knock it. I think there's a lot of people doing it that have had some benefit. But animal nutrition is where it's at. We're apex predators. It's what we absolutely require to thrive. We live in dangerous, dangerous times, and I know it's always been dangerous. But right now the stakes are really high. They want to turn you into a cyborg. And for those of you who don't believe it, I just listened to a podcast on the radio a little over a month ago where the guy was outright talking about the cyborg agenda. He was some bigwig from fucking Silicon Valley, and somebody was interviewing him on the radio, and he literally said those words out loud. Finally, people like me have been saying it for 40 years, but finally, somebody on the radio from Silicon Valley who's part of this whole big pharma, big tech agenda was outright talking about the cyborg revolution. We've arrived. You better make sure you know what side you're on. You better stay anchored to your intuition and your instincts, or they're going to get you. Signing out.